Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Coming up in our Millennial Mom segment, brought to you by OGPay.com, we're featuring the incredible Lauren Taylor, a board-certified physician assistant. She attended Purdue University in West Lafayette and is the co-founder and current secretary and treasurer of the Ariana Rye Foundation. She also serves as marketing director for her family business, Nevada Brewworks. Lauren has two daughters, Ariana Rye and Kyra Gray. Ariana Rye Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping children with disabilities get medical equipment to foster their social, mental, and physical development. Her daughter, Ariana, was born premature and spent 117 days in the NICU. She was diagnosed with cerebral palsy and auditory neuropathy spectrum disorder. And as a parent of a disabled child, she knows the hardships of getting the right care and equipment. Cerebral palsy is a group of disorders that affect movement, muscle tone, and posture. It's caused by damage that occurs to the immature developing brain, most often before birth. About 500,000 children under the age of 18 currently have cerebral palsy, and about 2 to 3 children out of every 1,000 will be diagnosed. Cerebral palsy has no known treatment, so it will continue to have an impact for the rest of a child's life. Welcoming now to the show is the amazing super mama, Lauren Taylor.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. What an incredible opportunity to get to talk to you and gain some insight into your life. I really, really thank you for taking the time to speak with us today.
Absolutely.
Okay, so at 21 weeks, you learned you were having a girl. And then not long after that, as your husband was making you dinner, I was reading, you hemorrhaged. And the doctor, once you got to the hospital, said the words no expectant mother wants to hear, that we're doing everything we can to save your baby. Although Ariana was born, she was rushed to the neonatal intensive care unit, to my understanding, and nurses, spirited her into an incubator. Talk to me about the next few months.
Those next few months, it's definitely hard to remember. It was so traumatic during that time, but we spent hours in the NICU. We went every single day. We got discharged from the hospital without our baby, so that was extremely difficult. But we went there every single day to see Ariana, hours. It felt like it was never going to end. And time was just moving so slowly while we were in the NICU. We spent 117 days there. It was super turbulent. She had fractured ribs. She had 5 blood transfusions. She was diagnosed as deaf inside the NICU. She had heart surgery, brain bleed. The list goes on and on. We get there and they tell us that she had to be resuscitated. It was a really difficult time. So we didn't know what was going to happen. There was ups, there was downs, but it was always a roller coaster in the NICU.
Unbelievable. Well, you are a warrior, mama. So after nearly 117 days or so in the hospital, Ariana finally goes home, but you didn't have a long-term prognosis. What was that like?
We did not, and everybody would tell us we don't know how she's going to be. We knew that when she left, she didn't have head control, so we were seeing a physical therapist, and nobody told us that she had cerebral palsy. And looking back now, she did have signs for it that I should have recognized, and I wish people would kind of told me that before leaving. But we saw physical therapy, occupational therapy right away leaving the NICU, and within a few months, she was missing her milestones, missing head control, reaching, any babbling, and then the diagnosis of cerebral palsy came up.
Interesting, right? Because I know through research that not all children with a cerebral palsy are hearing impaired. I mean, while it's true that
Right.
cerebral palsy increases the risks of a child having hearing problems, I mean, some children with the disorder have perfect hearing. And
Correct.
again, there are varying degrees of cerebral palsy, and the associated risk factors of developing other impairments really depend on the severity of the child's palsy. Now, in addition, it's interesting because some children may have problems with communication, yet they can hear perfectly fine.
True.
So it's interesting to me. Talk to me about what your daily routine looks like and what it's like communicating with Ariana.
Right. So communication is more than just verbal language. So we actually have something called a Tobii Dynavox, which is a seeing eye gaze device that we got. Ariana was actually one of the youngest kids to ever get a Tobii because we had to fight insurance for it. She got it around 1 year old. And so she can look at this and she can communicate. Unfortunately, her head control is so poor that her eye gaze does does not track appropriately. She also has vertical gaze palsy, so she can't look up or down. So Toby can be difficult to use. That's one way we communicate. Other ways we communicate is by facial gestures. She'll light up with her eyes. She'll open her mouth when she's hungry. So she has her ways of communicating that I know that other people just may not know.
Amazing. And it's really just about knowing your child, of course,
Yes.
that unbreakable bond. Now, let's chat brewery. So Ariana is a catalyst. The brewery is no longer just your dream. Now it's your family's legacy. And you said that it's something that you can give to her and something you've done for her to show
Absolutely.
her that anything is possible. And I commend you for that. Now, I want to talk about her middle name. So Ariana's middle name is Rye. Combining a critical beer ingredient with paying homage to your, I believe your husband's older brother Ryan, who
Yes.
sadly died of cancer at age 39. But I want to definitely call out his name and send a lot of positivity his way, because he's definitely all around you. Now, I love it that the beer the beer's called Ariana Rye. You have these new beers are going to be named for other physically challenged children to raise money to help pay for therapy and medical equipment. This is brilliant. So via your brewery, you're raising money for the foundation and you found a way to give back. What is your main objective? And tell me, how can people help?
So when we opened the brewery, we definitely wanted to give Ariana a place of employment, even because we know that as a disabled person that it may be difficult to find work. And we definitely wanted to open the brewery for her and also for other kids. So at Nevada Brew Works, we definitely brew for a cause. We had this great idea that we'd have a rotating tap named after other disabled children to raise money through their beers to get them equipment. It's been going over really well. We are looking for a new child now to put on tap. We have a new beer brewing for them. And with Ariana, we usually don't name our beers. We have like the Nevada Brew Works Hazy, Nevada Brew Works Blonde, but we name it for the disabled children and we name it for Ariana. So we have the Ariana Rye IPA on tap, and a portion of proceeds that goes to our foundation to raise. That's the bulk of our money for the foundation. We are very small, and so we just wanted to give back through our brewery because we can. So we don't distribute right now. We're planning to distribute soon in Las Vegas, but we don't distribute across the country. So we just take donations over our website for the foundation.
Oh, this is amazing. I love this story. You're doing God's work in many respects, because, there's other families that are following your leadership, your mentorship, other moms that are drawing strength from you. You're also a social media influencer and a digital creator. I love following your page. In fact, I found you on Instagram. I was like, it wasn't my bookings department up there at iHeart headquarters. It was my social media.
Wow.
So it goes a long way. Now, let's chat. Ariana, does she fully comprehend her environment, and what setbacks is she currently facing that you really don't have any control over?
Well, I definitely think that she understands what's going on around her. She knows words we're speaking. Like, for example, we went to sushi yesterday and we give her the sign for sushi and she gets so excited to go to sushi. She loves it. Once we get in the parking lot, she knows where she is. Once again, on her Toby Dynavox, she's able to solve puzzles. She matches. You wouldn't believe all the things that she can do, all the games that she can play on this Toby. She's picking characters. She's moving on. She understands how to play these games. So it's even though people may not recognize that or see that from the outside, as her mom, I 100% see that she knows what things are. We have her make choices at home, like what Disney movies she wants to watch through her Toby. And she has favorites like Finding Nemo, Monsters, Inc., Moana. So she definitely comprehends her environment. She knows where she is. She knows what's going on. And it may not look like that to other people, but we see it. And we have a lot of challenges ahead of us. We actually just got stem cells from her sister at Duke University. We're hoping that improves her skills, improves her motor milestones. We hope that she gets head control, hopes that she can start reaching. And, we want her to be able to do a little bit more, be a little bit more independent. Hopefully she can start to feed herself or walk with her gait trainer. So we have goals for her that we're still working on.
Oh, it all starts with you. You are the backbone, and you must see this and know it. And I know that you get, of course, like every other mother gets, overwhelmed at times.
Absolutely.
I mean, how do you and your husband balance marriage with all of this happening?
We take it one day at a time. It is very difficult. I think we are a great team, though. I'm lucky to have him be such a great father to Ariana. He helps get her ready for school. He does so much. Even though he runs the business, he still is a great dad when he gets home. And I'm very lucky to have a partner in this. I don't know how I can do it by myself. So it has been amazing to have him really support us outside the home and inside the home.
These are, you touched my heart. Okay. So what is your lifelong wish?
My lifelong wish is I always envision Ariana doing more. I really believe that she can do so much more. I think I want her to, my goals for her is to walk with her gait trainer, to say a few words, to feed herself, like I said previously, to hold her head up. I think she can. And then, she understands what's going on. She can move her fingers. And the neurologists say, if she understands and she can do complex things like move her fingers, then anything is possible. The first thing is understanding. Cognitive development will control motor development to some point. So once she begins to even understand further, I think her motor milestones will come into place.
That's very important. Exactly. It's all correlated. Well, I love that your wish was all about Ariana because, of course, every mother just wants the best for their child.
Absolutely.
Now, what message, we have about 2 minutes left, what message do you wish to deliver to America in hopes of demystifying the stigmas surrounding disabilities and families challenged with basically 24/7 caregiving?
Right. I think I want to share Ariana's story and her journey and other kids' stories because they're all just children. We're all just people. We all just strive to have, good days, happy days, and are able to make an impact in this world. And she can do I always say that Ariana can do everything that every other child can do, just a little bit differently. We just have a little bit more of a challenge. So I can pick her up and I have her play around and I take her through climbing gyms and jungle gyms. And it's hard, but we can do it too. There's just different ways for Ariana to do things. So even though she's different, she's still the same.
Oh yeah, I see her posts and your posts, and she's the cutest little face, and the spirit and the energy that emanates from this child is incredible. Like I said, I think I saw her dancing in her chair, spinning in one of your posts, and I was so drawn to it. It just warmed my heart. It really did. So
she loves it.
Yeah, I could see. All right, thank you so much, Lauren. I mean, this was such an enlightening interview.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I love sharing Ariana's journey.
That was such an inspirational interview. Now, listen, guys, it's definitely important to note that although there are children with severe cerebral palsy who use a wheelchair, many others can walk and run without any assistance. Cerebral palsy can be extremely mild to severe and anywhere in between. Again, some children with the disorder may not be able to speak. And since it has varying degrees of severity, this certainly does not apply to all children with cerebral palsy, because children with cerebral palsy who have limited talking abilities can still very much communicate, like in Ariana's situation. Communication boards, sign language, and electronic tablets are among the numerous communication methods children can use today. So definitely do check out that Toby that Lauren was talking about. That was our Millennial Mom segment brought to you by OGPay.com. Do check out Ariana Rye Foundation on the gram, and definitely head to arianaryefoundation.com/donate. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Caldwell Soames Incorporated, investing globally in transformative businesses like Original Digital Corporation, or ODC. ODC develops advanced consumer and commercial fintech solutions such as OGPay, which will transform the way you manage your money. From sending and receiving money globally for free, paying for goods and services in person and online, pay bills, buy and sell digital currencies, all while earning interest. OGPay is easy to set up, FDIC insured, and your information is secured. Check out OGPay.com.